All right, USC, welcome to the media room. Coach, what'd you like about your team's performance today?
Well, I thought, it's kind of a breakout game for us from three. I thought we did it, obviously making 11 of 23. I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get to the foul line more. We need to put more pressure on the defense from a dribble drive standpoint. But, Boise State's well coached. They got a lot of guys that are returners, so they're a tough team to play. Before we got on the plane to come here, we talked about how many close games there are usually over here, and another close one today.
All right, any questions for Rodney or Terrence?
Terrence, you played a lot more minutes today. How did you feel out there, and did the heat bother you?
I don't think I got tired, but I definitely sweated a lot. That's probably like the only big difference. But it just felt good being out there. Coach trusted me all throughout these games, and he's going to win the game. And this time he just had me out on the court, and we got the win.
Please raise your hand and grab the microphone if you can.
For both players, could you guys talk about what you know about the Maui Invitational before coming here? Did you watch it as kids or growing up, and what's the experience been here like so far?
I've definitely years prior, I've definitely seen it on TV, YouTube TV, whatever it may be. The competitiveness, I always noticed that, and just to be in it, it's real. Close games every game, so you gotta bring it.
I know for me, it's definitely a dream, just watching it growing up, seeing the performances like Ant Edwards and all those type things, you see it on TV a lot. And, it felt good playing it. And, it's a dream come true, and we just focus and we try and win this next game.
For both players, Boise was obviously a physical team. They early on were pounding the paint. Y'all seemed to make an adjustment with about 7 minutes left where y'all kind of picked it up. What did Coach say? What did y'all do defensively to start resisting a little bit?
Don't tell him what I said.
No, he got you. I mean, I know from a standpoint of prep, Coach made a big emphasis on physicality and rebounding. And I feel like we weren't doing that, in the early stages, even in the first half. But, I think we picked up a little bit in the second half, but we still got room to improve for sure. We could be more physical. We could box out more. We can go pursue loose balls more. So we're just going to keep working on that.
Anything else? Yeah. We'll let you guys get back with your team. Any questions for Coach?
Good job, you guys.
Coach, congratulations on the win. It seems like Terrence and also Jordan Marsh are much more part of the rotation, at least they were today. Can you speak to that?
Well, I thought Jordan came in and when he banged the 2 threes, it was situations that we needed, both of them. We felt like, T. Will was due to make a 3 or 2. And then I thought to start the game, a big focal point of our scouting report was Andrew Meadow. And I thought T. Will's physicality on Meadow, I'm going to say like the first 8 minutes of the game was phenomenal. And we just felt like, we needed a steady, solid, disciplined defender with experience against Meadow, and that's kind of the thought press coming into the game because T. Will didn't start the last game, and then we put him back in the starting lineup and assigned him to Boise State's leading scorer.
Coach, what did you think of that offensive foul call with 6 seconds left? And I guess just as a two-parter, I mean, knowing Leon Rice the way you do, knowing that team, seeing them play today, what do you think of their prospects for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think Boise State's a really good team. I like the makeup of the team. Coach Rice is a great coach. I mean, we've competed against each other so much. But I like that, Buchanan can back people down, and he's physical, and in the Mountain West, he's a matchup problem because he can play out on the floor. And, Dylan Andrews was a great pickup for them, experienced player, starter at UCLA, and he's got good length and can put defensive pressure on the basketball. And then I thought their role guys, were better in person than maybe what we saw on film. I thought that, Keene, he plays so hard. His rebounding on the offensive glass hurt us. I thought Neto did a good job with pace of play. And then I thought Carmichael was one of their best players today. And so those guys coming off the bench, I thought Leon did a good job utilizing his bench.
You mentioned you guys hitting 11 threes. They went 5 of 25. What did you guys do defensively to not give them a ton of open looks?
Yeah, we came into the game and just felt like if we held them under 6 threes, there's no way that we were going to lose. But we held them to 5 and still almost lost. So defending the 3 was certainly the priority in the 2 games leading up, or the 2 days leading up to this game. So I thought we did a phenomenal job there. I thought we did a great job on Felder, just kind of walling him up and keeping him off the glass.
Coach, can you speak to the importance of the Maui Invitational on the college basketball landscape, especially after today's announcement about the Big 12 and Players Era announcement, $50 million? Does the Maui Invitational have a permanent spot in the college basketball landscape?
Well, this is the second time I've been here. Obviously, being at Arkansas a few years ago, I think this environment can prepare you for the NCAA tournament with the way that the field is set up, with the intimacy of the gym and loud, and it's pressure-filled. Got a great TV network that covers it. So from a national exposure, you don't have to go through 25 TV stations. We know what it's on, which makes it easy on my mom to know what TV station we're on. But no, I think that we love it. We got here and our guys got to experience a little bit of Maui, and then yesterday afternoon it was all about basketball, which is all it'll be about from here until we go back home. But just the experience. We had players that have never been in the ocean before, out surfing, and we've kind of approached this thing much like we do for an NCAA tournament, where we don't put our guys on lockdown. They're not in the hotel 24/7. We want them to experience stuff and have some looseness to them, and not be too uptight. So I think it's a great life experience for all of our players, and it's incredible for families. It's incredible for boosters and alumni that want to come and get a vacation over a holiday and see great basketball. So to me, I think it's awesome.
All right, one more question for Coach.
Coach, you've been here before, so that turnaround is important. What are some of the things you want to try to work on between today and tomorrow to try to get a little bit of improvement?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing in an environment like this, when the gym's hot, and so the amount of calories that you burn, being hydrated is super, super important. And then, as a coaching staff, you have to balance how much you prep with each game that goes by. Game 3, game 2, we're not going to have the same prep because of the amount of time. And I'm just a big believer that fresh mind, fresh body is more important than me going up on a board and trying to diagram. It's important that the guys that played a lot of minutes tonight get off their legs, relax. We will prep, but it'll all be mental. There won't be any physical prep. We're not using a shoot-around time. We're not walking through in the ballroom. It'll be through film study and paper scout.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
All right, welcome to Boise State, to the press conference room. Coach Rice, what did you see from your team today?
Well, it was a heck of a battle. And, it's just in a game like that, one play, excuse me, one play makes the difference. And, you can point to 10 different times it was one play. But our guys just kept battling, kept staying in it, ended up taking the lead. And I thought there was a couple key possessions. Peanut had a dunk, and I thought there was a lot of contact on that dunk. And, when we were up two, we didn't take advantage of those key possessions. I thought that was a big key.
Any questions for the players? Please raise your hand and grab a mic.
Javen, I guess take us through the final play there. I mean, you got the look you wanted there.
Yeah, it was a good look. They trusted me to take it, so, that's basketball.
What are the emotions like after a game like that? Back and forth and just so many swing plays here and there, and then just to see that shot miss, and obviously you know what it means, and obviously now another tough one tomorrow. Just how you kind of process in that one?
You just got to respond. You can't dwell in it. We got another game tomorrow. That's the beauty of this game. You get to play again, so.
For you, just kind of backing them down some, getting to the lane some. You obviously had the big and one to tie the game. How much tonight did you really want to kind of take over and be a force?
Yeah, the game just told me what to do, and then I just made the plays I thought were necessary. So yeah, it was good.
Peanut, what was it like for you out there? Hit a couple shots, got going. Obviously a back and forth kind of a physical game, but how'd you feel out there?
I felt good. I felt like our team was ready to battle, and we battled, and it just wasn't the outcome that we wanted, but I think we played really hard, and we were really prepared for that game.
You guys only 5 of 25 from three. Just pick a bad night to miss some threes, or were they doing something to not give you a lot of open looks, or what'd you see from the outside?
No, our team's a great shooting team. I trust everybody on the floor to shoot. Our coaches trust everybody. It just wasn't falling tonight. But I know that eventually, and probably tomorrow, that our shots are going to fall.
Both players, can you guys talk about what it's been like on Maui? You ever been here before, and what's the experience been like, island-wise, as far as being here so far?
It's fun. I'm from Indiana, so ain't nothing like this I've ever been to. So yeah, it's amazing.
This is my first time here, and it's better than the pictures. I'll tell you that much. It's beautiful, and just really blessed to be here.
One more question for the players.
Rice had 27 points and just seemed like he had a lot of really big shots too. What was so tough against him? And then for them to go 11 of 23 from three overall as a team, it just seemed like every time, as coach was saying, you had a chance to extend it out, they'd hit a huge three.
He's just a really experienced player. He's been everywhere and played in huge games. But I need to do a better job, pressuring the ball and not letting him score 27. But he's just a really, really talented player. Got to give him credit for that.
All right, we're going to let the players go get back with their teammates. Go ahead, guys. Any questions for Coach?
Coach, you out-rebounded them. You went, toe-to-toe in a lot of the key areas. You just couldn't get enough shots to fall, it seemed like, especially from the outside.
Yeah, I think, the start of the game started out a little slow from the three line. Pretty excited to play, probably some jitters there, and shot selection was just okay. Then as the game wore on, we really did a good job of starting to get good looks. And, then our percentage increased, and we had a couple rattle in and rattle out. Right in front of our bench, Drew had a good look. He's been making those. He was on balance, and the thing rattled in and out. And so, the big difference in the game, they were 11 for 23. We were 5 for 25, but started out 1 for 12. That's hard to come back from that as far as your three-point percentage. And we'll look at the film and figure that out. But the biggest thing in a tournament like this, you don't have time to dwell on anything. I told our guys, you got from here to the hotel to lick our wounds, feel bad about it. And then we got to turn the page because, you're playing top 25 team tomorrow morning in less than 24 hours. So, if you feel sorry for yourself and don't respond the right way quickly, that game's on you before you know it, and then you're like, wow, that would have been, a great opportunity. So we're going to play a great team tomorrow. Like I said, that's why you come to these events. The beauty of that is you get to play NC State tomorrow right away.
I mentioned USC kept hitting huge shots, and there was a couple times where you guys could have caved or could have got out of hand, and you guys just kept answering with some huge shots. I mean, I know there's no moral victories you lost, but I mean, in terms of just stuff you saw from your team, in terms of their toughness and fighting, that could help you moving forward.
No, we're doing some great stuff, and we keep responding, and we keep getting better when we're together. That's what I like about this team. So there's a lot that we can keep getting better at, and down the stretch, I thought we did a pretty darn good job executing some stuff. We got a foul on them without the clock moving. We made those free throws. We got an and one for Javen. When we could have surrendered, but we came back, gave ourselves a chance to send it in overtime, and and then got good execution on our last second play. When he let that go right in front of me, I was like, that thing's online. Yeah, I thought it had a good chance. So, but it's basketball, and you come here to keep getting better. You come here for these opportunities, and so like I said, we got to turn the page as quickly as we can, which is not easier, because our guys poured a lot into that. That was a hard-fought game against a Big Ten opponent that a lot of respect from us and what he does, and he's got some really, really good players, and so it's a hard thing to do. It's easier said than done to just flip the switch and go on.
Coach, I know you struggled a little bit from the three-point line, but you did and I think Javen led that, pounding in the paint, making them pay, use your size. They kind of made some adjustments. What did they do down the stretch that made it a little bit more difficult? It wasn't as fluid for you, where there's some things they were doing?
Well, what I saw is I think it was key that they weren't in the bonus, because then they were really, really physical with our guards, caused some turnovers. They were, so I would like to have got them in the bonus a little earlier, and then now all of a sudden, when they hand check and it's called, then it makes a big difference. So I thought it made them more aggressive on the ball, and we lost a few balls that way, I thought.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks.